In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 college football games happening on December 3rd, 2022, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games. So 2 picks for each game, 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 college football games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive betting picks to take your sports betting journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer anywhere from 1 betting pick a day up to 10 betting picks a day and much more. Now let's get started. Kansas State versus TCU. It's the Big 12 championship game as a pair of ranked foes do battle for the right to be claimed as the best team in the conference on the gridiron down in the Lone Star State. The number 12 Kansas State Wildcats are the road team as they take on the number 4 TCU Horned Frogs Saturday afternoon. Kansas State knocked off Kansas 47-27 at home last Saturday to cover the 11.5-point line and punch their ticket to the title game. TCU demolished Iowa State 62-14 at home to easily cover the 9.5-point spread and remain unbeaten. The all-time series between the schools is tied at 8 wins apiece, with the Horned Frogs taking a 38-28 win as a 3.5-point favorite at home in their meeting this season on October 22nd. Kansas State is 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 games overall and 5-2-1 against the spread in their last 8 games against a team with a winning record, while the over is 4-1 in their last 5 games following an against the spread win. TCU is 5-1 against the spread in their last 6 conference games and 5-1 against the spread in their last 6 games overall, while the under is 4-1 in their last 5 games following an against the spread win. TCU has been the definition of survive and advance all season long. Their blowout win over Iowa State was their first win of over 10 points since beating up Oklahoma back on October 1st. The Horned Frogs offense has only scored less than 30 points just twice this season, at Texas and at Baylor. They still have the top offense in the Big 12 and a top 20 offense nationally. Yet oddsmakers, the College Football Playoff Committee, and fans have continually failed to back TCU this season. For all their success, TCU has only been a double-digit favorite twice this season, in their opener against Colorado and the finale against Iowa State. In the regular season matchup, TCU trailed at halftime by 11. It was just the second time this season they were trailing at half, the other being against Oklahoma State. The TCU defense held the Wildcats scoreless due to quarterback injuries to starter Adrian Martinez and then back Will Howard, leaving third-string Jake Rubley to throw an interception from which Kansas State never recovered. However, Howard went 1-3 for 20 for 225 and 2 touchdowns, pacing the Wildcats to 28-17 lead at half. Since Howard has become the starter in the last 4 games, he's completed 63.5% of his passes for 999 yards and 11 passing touchdowns. Kansas State's total defense is second best in the conference. They are also second best in yards per play allowed, and they've given up the fewest touchdowns in the Big 12. We can only wonder how the regular season matchup would have finished if Howard was able to play the whole way out. We should find out on Saturday. TCU has taken on 75% of the tickets early, but a sharp discrepancy in taking just 53% of the handle. So the Kansas State Wildcats to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. In their prior meeting, the two combined for 66 points. On the year, Kansas State has gone over 6 times and TCU 7. Combined on the year, the two teams averaged 77 points per game. In their last 3 games, the Frogs have averaged 36 points while Kansas State has averaged 42 points. So, both of these teams are in an offensive groove. We expect that to continue in a shootout until the end. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. LSU versus Georgia. The Louisiana State Tigers and Georgia Bulldogs will battle for the Southeastern Conference Championship this weekend at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. The 9-3 Tigers had a fine season, with wins over Mississippi State, Florida, Ole Miss, and Alabama. The Bulldogs are the nation's top-ranked team and are in the driver's seat to win the national championship. Louisiana State is 5-2 against the spread in their last 7 neutral site games and 20-7 against the spread in their last 27 games following an against the spread loss, while the over is 5-1 in their last 6 games overall. Georgia is 5-2 against the spread in their last 7 neutral site games and 7-2 against the spread in their last 9 games in December, while the under is 10-3-2 in their last 15 neutral site games. The Georgia Bulldogs are 1 win away from their first Southeastern Conference championship since 2017. Georgia is coming off a win over their in-state rival Georgia Tech, which completed their second straight undefeated regular season. Louisiana State's slim college football playoff hopes were dashed when they lost the finale to Texas Agricultural and Mechanical. I still think there is motivation for the Tigers, as first-year head coach Brian Kelly would love a Southeastern Conference title on his resume and in the process knock off the prohibitive favorite to win the national championship. This isn't a great matchup for Louisiana State. I felt that Louisiana State was overrated for a few weeks now, and this line opened up at 15 and steamed to 20 during the Louisiana State half of the Louisiana State-Texas Agricultural and Mechanical game. We've settled at a number that I don't like for Georgia. Despite their offense being one of the top ones in the country, head coach Kirby Smart seems content to sit on big leads with his running game and defense. Georgia quarterback Stetson Bennett only has 16 touchdown passes on the season, and the Bulldogs' only real blowouts came against Oregon, South Carolina, and Vanderbilt. Much similar to the game script against Tennessee, Georgia can build an early 3-score lead and let their running game and defense take over from there. Georgia has sort of played down to their competition the last 3 weeks. Don't get it twisted, I don't think Louisiana State can win this game, but once this number got over 17, it was time for me to take the points. Jaden Daniels and company likely sneaked through the back door with a late cover, so the Louisiana State Tigers to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Louisiana State is a national title contender with a chip on its shoulder, which has been a recipe for success in Baton Rouge over the years. The Bulldogs' defense is for real, but so is Daniels. The over is 5-1 in the Tigers' last 6 games overall and 4-0 in their past 4 December games. I believe Louisiana State will score a couple more red zone touchdowns than the oddsmakers suggest, forcing Georgia to go back and forth for a part of the game. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. UCF versus Tulane. The Tulane Green Wave play host to the UCF Knights on Saturday afternoon from Human Stadium, with the American Athletic Conference title on the line. These two actually met just a few weeks ago in this same stadium, with the Knights taking the 7-point win. UCF comes in having won their rivalry game last week to get back into the win column, while Tulane has won 2 in a row in their own right. The Green Wave haven't taken down the Knights in their last 5 tries, though this one could be the one to flip the script, with everything on the line. The Knights are 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 games in December and 7-18-1 against the spread in their last 26 games on field turf. The Green Wave are 43-21-1 against the spread in their last 65 home games and 14-3 against the spread in their last 17 games overall. The over is 8-3 in Knights' last 11 road games. The over is 5-1 in Green Wave last 6 games overall. The Knights are 2-5 against the spread in their last 7 meetings. The underdog is 4-0 against the spread in their last 4 meetings. The American Athletic Conference Championship game features a rematch of UCF and Tulane. Only a few weeks ago, UCF won that game 38-31, a game that was played at Central Florida. Can the Knights repeat, or can the Green Wave win the revenge game in New Orleans? Much is at stake in this game, as the winner will most likely be the highest-ranked conference champion from the group of 5, and thus will earn a bid to a New Year's Six bowl. The most significant story right now is that John Reese Plumlee, the quarterback for UCF, left last week's game with a hamstring injury. As is typical with college football, we probably will not know his status until kickoff. He is a key for the Knights in this matchup. In the first tilt, Plumlee threw for 132 and a touchdown, but his real damage came on the ground. That afternoon, Plumlee ran for 176 yards and 2 touchdowns on 18 carries. Without question, that was the difference in the game. Even if Plumlee plays, it is hard to imagine that he will be allowed to keep the ball that much with a balky hamstring. If he does not play, his backup is a thrower, and that would play right into the heart of the Tulane defense. Beyond that, UCF should still be able to run the ball with Harvey and Bowser, and the weakest part of the Tulane defense is the run stopping. Still, I imagine that Tulane will force the ball into the air more this time around, or at least try to. Tulane has been playing well since the loss to the Knights, with key wins over SMU and Cincinnati to get here this weekend. Watching the game the first time around, it felt like Tulane was caught off guard early by UCF, then outplayed the Knights the rest of the way, but it was not enough. I fully expect Tulane to come out ready this time and not start in a deep hole. Given that the game is in New Orleans, Tulane has bounced back from the initial loss, and Plumlee is questionable. I feel good about backing Tulane, so the Tulane Green Wave to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. This game was a 38-31 game the first time it was played. The game total that day closed in the low 50s for bettors. That result has pushed the total up a little higher this time around, and it appears that the majority of the early week bets have been with the over. It looks like most bettors are expecting a repeat of the previous offensive performance. This seems like a good time to go the other way. To start, Tulane knows that they need to focus on moving the ball on the ground quite a bit more, which should allow them to control the game better, but decrease their scoring slightly. For the Knights, they'll likely be only running the ball, and if Tulane can key in better with their stud linebacking core, they should slow them down better than the first game. This will be a low-scoring game, even though the first meeting between these two teams saw some offensive fireworks. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.